You know that feeling, right? You pick up your phone just to check one quick thing, and then you look up, and an entire hour has just evaporated, gone. It happens to all of us. So today, we're going to dive deep into that time warp and figure out the real science and design behind why 5 minutes on your phone almost always somehow turns into an hour.
So let's play detective for a minute. You decide to scroll for a bit before bed. Maybe it's 11 p.m. The next thing you know, it's nearly 2:30 in the morning. Where did all that time go? Now, if you think this is just you, get this. The average TikTok session is a jaw-dropping 95 minutes. And that's for an app where most videos are less than a minute long.
And that brings us right to the heart of our mystery, the case of the missing time, and how our sense of it gets so completely warped online. I mean, just let that number sink in. 95 minutes, on average. That's more than an hour and a half glued to your screen in one go. All built out of these tiny little 15 or 60-second video clips. You have to ask, how is that even possible? It's so easy to just blame ourselves, isn't it? To think, I just have zero self-control. But what if it's not a personal failure? What if the whole digital environment is actually engineered to make that happen? Now that is the real question we're digging into. So let's move on to section 2, the anatomy of the trap. We're going to pull back the curtain and look at the deliberate design choices that are made to keep you locked in. So what's the core trick? Well, it's a classic from psychology called a variable reward schedule. Basically, every time you swipe your thumb, you're pulling the lever on a slot machine. You have no idea if the next video will be boring or if it'll be the funniest thing you've seen all week. And that's the hook. That unpredictability gives you a little hit of dopamine in anticipation of a reward. It's the possibility that gets you addicted.
Now, the other side of the coin is what they've taken away. Things designers call stopping cues. Think about a book with chapters, or even an old website where you had to click to the next page. Those are natural pause points. But infinite scroll, it gets rid of all of them. There's no end. There's no bottom. There's no little moment of friction that makes you ask yourself, should I keep going? The easiest thing to do is to just keep scrolling.
Okay, so we've got the design down, but how does that design actually mess with our biology? Well, that brings us to part 3, the hijacking of the brain. This is where we get into the neuroscience of it all.
So this is pretty wild. It turns out your brain has this sort of internal pacemaker that sends out regular pulses to help you track time. And normally, there's a little attentional gate that counts those pulses. But when you're watching super fast, high-energy videos, your attention gets totally hijacked. That gate basically slams shut. You stop counting the pulses. And the result is you massively underestimate how much time has actually passed. It's like a glitch in our own operating system.
And now, let's pour some fuel on that fire, dopamine. You know that same chemical from the slot machine effect? It does something else. It physically makes our internal pacemaker run faster. So your internal clock is racing ahead, which makes the real world, and the actual clock on the wall, feel like it's moving in slow motion. You end up feeling like way less time has passed than it really has.
And here is the final, crucial piece of this whole neural puzzle. We judge how much time has gone by looking back at the memories we've made. But when you scroll through hundreds of totally unrelated short videos, your brain can't form coherent memories. It's like feeding a roll of film directly into a shredder. Without any of those solid memory signposts to look back on, your brain has no way to tell if you've been scrolling for 20 minutes or for 2 hours. And hey, the data completely backs this up. Just look at this chart. It shows how much our time perception gets distorted by different kinds of content. You can see short-form entertainment is off the charts. It causes a huge distortion. It's way worse than educational content, and it just dwarfs something longer like a movie. This isn't a mistake. It's a feature of the format. So, what's the actual cost of all this? Well, it's something researchers call attention residue. Your brain can't just instantly switch from one thing to the next. So as you scroll, a little piece of your attention is still stuck on the last video and the one before that. The result is you feel mentally exhausted and foggy, but without any of the satisfaction of actually having accomplished anything. So yeah, we have seen this really powerful combination of clever design and brain science at work. But you are not helpless in this. And that brings us to our final section, the escape protocols. This is how you start to reclaim your time and your attention. Protocol number 1 is all about putting the friction back in. These apps are designed to be frictionless, so we're going to fight back. Turn off autoplay.
It forces you to make a conscious choice after every single video. Or, here's another one, move the app off your home screen. Make yourself actively search for it. These little moments of friction give your rational brain a fighting chance to step in.
Okay, Protocol 2 is a really cool little visual hack. Remember the slot machine? It's designed to be bright, flashy, and exciting. So let's make it boring. Go into your phone settings and switch the whole display to grayscale. It sounds simple, but studies show this can make these apps feel 30 to 40% less appealing. It just turns down the volume on that dopamine trigger.
And finally, Protocol 3, and this is probably the most powerful one. Create a physical barrier. Research has shown that just having your phone in your line of sight, even if it's turned off, is enough to reduce your brain power. It's a literal brain drain. So try having analog hours, where you intentionally leave your phone in a completely different room. Give your brain a real chance to reset.
So, let's put it all together in one quick cheat sheet. The trap is the design, that combo of infinite scroll and variable rewards. The trick is how it gets into your brain. Dopamine spikes slam that attentional gate shut. And the result is what it does to your memory. It gets shredded, leading directly to you having no idea where the time went.
Look, the biggest takeaway here is this. This technology is not a neutral tool. It is engineered from the ground up to extract your most valuable resource, your time. It's not about you having bad willpower. It's about you being aware of the system you're up against. And honestly, your awareness is the best defense you have. So, look up from the screen, reclaim your reality. If you found this breakdown valuable, make sure to subscribe to the channel. That way you'll be notified when we release our future videos.